All right, Anthony on Air podcast. On this episode, the secret intimate dinner between Bill Clinton and Ghislaine Maxwell. You'll be surprised to hear what year this actually took place in. Plus, at one point, Ghislaine Maxwell told a housekeeper that she hated Jeffrey Epstein but couldn't leave. And I don't know what the third topic yet is of the show, but I'm sure we'll come up with something. Frankie C and Jay Sebs. Yeah, we're going to win the third act. Are here with us on this episode. It's good to have Frankie C back in the mix. So this was pretty shocking to me. Ghislaine Maxwell sat down with Bill Clinton for a secret intimate dinner at a vegan restaurant in Los Angeles back in 2014.
Ooh.
Right? That's kind of messed up because all we've heard for the longest time was Clinton didn't have any contact with any of these people for the longest time, not since 2002, 2003, whatever it was. But we go to find out that this did indeed happen, and this has been confirmed. So producer Steve Bing, who's Clinton's friend, major Democratic donor, also died by suicide last year.
Oh, boy. Come on.
I'm telling you, you can't make this stuff up. Was there. Former Clinton staffers Ben Sherwin, a future Snapchat executive, then talent agent Michael Keeves, were also invited to this soiree. Two other unlikely guests joined the party that night: British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell and tech CEO Scott Borgenson, who is now rumored to be Ghislaine Maxwell's husband.
So was this like a huge dinner, with 100 people, or was it like a small table?
It was like, so there was like a gala event, and then after the gala event, Clinton went back to this restaurant and just invited like a small amount of people. I want to say it was like less than 20 people. The name of the place is Crossroads Kitchen. It's on Melrose Avenue. Beyonce, Katy Perry, Chris, they've all been there. Jerry Bruckheimer, Bruce Willis, all been there. Supposedly Sean Penn was there that night and at the table with them all. So Sean Penn was on this guest list as well. And again, this is 2014. So according to this information that the Daily Beast got, Clinton's advance team secured seating for the invites and specifically noted Maxwell and someone named Scott had RSVP'd for the Thursday gathering. Multiple sources with knowledge of the situation say aides had squabbled over Maxwell's invitation beforehand due to her links to Epstein. Even to this day, Clinton insiders continue to point fingers over who should be blamed for Maxwell's addition to the event. So his own staff was arguing over the fact that she was invited to this dinner, saying that she shouldn't have been invited to this dinner. So that to this day, they're like, this was a huge mistake.
Ooh, yeah.
So this was a dinner put on by Clinton. It was hosted by Clinton. He arranged it.
He was like, hey, after the gala, we're going to go back. Everybody come back. This is the special dinner. So he sent out invitations. And as is the case with a former president and his Secret Service team, they have to clear the event and do all these things. It's kind of a crazy process. Yeah. I had to go through. I didn't have to go through anything, but I do that celebrity softball tournament in East Hampton. He showed up twice, Clinton. Quick background on that is before he was president of the United States, Clinton was at this game. It's this famed softball game here on the East End. And so 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, I don't even remember when it was, he decided to pop back in and show his support. It's a great game. Lots of great charities benefit from it. And he showed up and it shut the whole place down. But I remember having to give over all this information, my address and stuff, to the organizers. And I was like, why is this happening? They're like, oh, we just need it for mailers. And I found out later on it was because he was going to show up and they wanted as much information as possible. Anyway, and it was crazy because you saw the Secret Service there and it was a scene. Anyway.
I'm sure it was.
So sources tell the Daily Beast that Doug Band, who was the person who worked for Clinton, who cut Maxwell out of their circle originally, he winds up leaving. So he was the one in 2011 who said, no more Maxwell. That's it. She's out. He winds up leaving, and then all of a sudden Maxwell gets invited back in. Doug Band, by the way, was also on Epstein's private jet back in 2002 on that trip to Africa. So the Daily Beast goes on to say that John Davidson, Clinton's deputy chief of staff, knew Maxwell was attending the 2014 dinner, which he helped organize. Davidson didn't return messages for comment. One source said, quote, this is an intimate dinner with Clinton in L.A. Think of all the people he knows in L.A. and Ghislaine gets to attend. So he's basically saying, or the source is saying, think about all the people that the former president of the United States would know in the second largest city in the country, and Ghislaine Maxwell. Yeah, he invites her. That's messed up. This is messed up.
It's weird.
What do they have to do together?
Weird.
Sure.
I'm sure she has friends that are not associated with bad stuff, but this is not a person you want to invite to a thing.
No, it seems unnecessary to have this on your list. Schwerin told the Daily Beast he has no recollection or record of being at the dinner, while Keefe said he did not attend and has never met Maxwell or noticed her at other Clinton dinners. Angel Urania, a spokesman for Clinton, declined to comment and referred to a statement that was issued in 2019, which basically said Clinton knows nothing about the crimes that Epstein committed, that he pled guilty to in Florida. They were only involved in the trip in 2002, 2003 to Africa, blah, 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 so on and so forth. He's never been to the island. He's never been to the ranch in Mexico. He's never been to his residence in Florida. He was at his apartment once in New York with a staff member and his security detail, and that he hasn't spoken to Epstein in over a decade. So they referred back to their old statement there.
Right.
One friend of the one friend of the Clintons told the Daily Beast that Ghislaine was close to Clinton and daughter Chelsea, went backstage at Clinton Global Initiative events, and even visited their homes. The source said the Clintons should take responsibility for spending time with Maxwell, who allegedly offered the Clintons hotel stays, air travel, and other items. The friend said, quote, it's always someone else's fault. It's always not true. They're always fighting against the reporting and not that they did it. That's the problem, saying that the Clintons are always claiming that they didn't do anything.
Right.
By the time the Crossroads...
I wonder if they're going to have to testify after all this is out there, once the trial starts.
I wonder. By the time of the Crossroads dinner, the press had widely reported on Epstein's abuse of girls at his mansion in Palm Beach, Florida, and lawsuits were filed by victims of his trafficking scheme. Claims of Maxwell's involvement were known to Clinton staffers in 2011 when the Daily Mail reported on Virginia Giuffre's, survivor accounts. Blah, 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 blah. It's unclear why Maxwell was reintroduced to Clinton's circle, at least for one night in February of 2014. The night of the dinner, one person remembered Borgerson in particular because he wasn't Ted Waite, Maxwell's ex-boyfriend and the billionaire Gateway co-founder. Waite is a friend and supporter of the Clinton family who donated at least $10 million to the foundation. She dated Ted Waite for some time, so for her to go to a dinner like that with someone who's not Ted was indicative that things moved on. TMZ reported that Clinton dined with Sean Penn that night, but didn't mention any of the other bold-faced names. The gossip site published video footage of Clinton slipping into the back of the restaurant after a Secret Service motorcade parked and Penn striding into the front entrance, ignoring questions about meeting Bill. Let me see here. Is there anything else? Another source with long ties to Clinton told the Daily Beast they were relieved that Page Six or other outlets didn't catch wind of the gathering. So
I feel like there should be people like, I don't know why, celebrity or not, politician or not, there are people that tell you, sir, this is a bad idea.
Right. Don't hang out with this person.
Aren't there people around them doing that?
Yeah, and he went through with it anyway. That was
he just did it.
He just did it anyway. Like, I mean, you can't in good conscience. Like, I mean, how? It doesn't make any sense. Now, supposedly this Waite character was close with Chelsea, and that's how Maxwell got brought into this circle. But that is a crazy sort of triangular coincidence that, especially since she was on the trip with Epstein back in 2002. Now she's popping back up because she's dating this other guy who's friends with Chelsea. And then the other guy doesn't show up. She's got a new husband, but she's still there.
Come on, that's
a weird web, man.
It is a very, very strange web. Very, very strange web. And somebody in the comments section said to me, like, oh, she was friends with Chelsea. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. I haven't really, I've seen that rumor, but haven't really like actually seen that reported up until this very moment where it's like, here it is right here that somebody's saying, sources are saying, yeah, they were indeed friends.
So this came out from the documents being revealed, or is this just a report from unknown sources and stuff? What is this? Who's telling us this?
This is just a report from the Daily Beast. So I'm glad you brought up the document thing because I do have an update on that too. But first I have to say that this episode is brought to you by the podcast merch store. We've got fresh new merch available at anthonyonair.com with links in our descriptions. Look at that. The Anthony On Air mug right there. It says show me potato salad on the other side. Quite nice. We have our signature show me potato salad shirt right here. Look at that bad boy. Lovely.
Nice.
Fantastical. And of course our, here you go, Frank. I award you no points and may God have mercy on your soul shirt.
That's the greatest line in movie history.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff up there in the merch store. And of course, you got this our just microphone logo. Who somebody said it looks like very phallic. It looks like a male member.
All microphones look like
no
a
wonder
male
why
member.
I like it.
Show me a microphone that doesn't look like it.
No wonder why Janine ordered 44 and Frank ordered 2. Now I see. Now it all starts to make a bunch of sense here. So that is the merch store, which is up at anthonyonair.com. We got mugs, we got facial coverings, bags, so much more. And of course, if you buy anything, you're showing support for the podcast. Not only out while you're wearing your merch, but monetarily, it also helps us put on these episodes that you're enjoying, like this one right here. So
It lets me brush my hair.
What's that?
It's about damn
It lets
time.
me brush my hair.
Yes, right,
you.
exactly. We keep Janine off of meth, so please purchase the
gosh.
shirt if you can.
Every little bit helps here.
Be great.
A little bit.
So as far as the document dump goes, it was supposed to happen yesterday. They did have a hearing yesterday. It didn't happen. What we found out, though, was that there's a bunch of people that are named in this release. So they have to give all these people a chance to blank their names out. I forget what they call that. It's just less redact.
Redact?
They can redact. Thank you. Redact their names out.
I prefer blank their names out. Okay.
Yeah, they blank their names out. So the opportunity for this to happen started on September 11th, and as they say, John Doe has 2 weeks to choose to take their name out or not. So that'll be, what would that put us at? The 25th. Today's the 23rd. Once all those that 2 week period ends, then Ghislaine's people and Virginia's people have another week to
This ain't never coming out.
react to it. Well, that's kind of the way it feels, but I think it is. I just think that we're into October now, because
this is going to drag out forever.
If by the 25th it comes back to Virginia and Ghislaine's representatives and they have a week to respond to it, that puts us into early October before the judge can honestly put it out. So now, could some other shenanigans come up and happen? Yeah. But as of right now, we sit at early October for that actually to come to fruition. So we just found all that stuff out. That's the document.
How much of it is going to be released? I mean, what are we expecting?
She still plans on doing everything. Now, Ghislaine like the hearing is that Ghislaine, took it to an appeals court, and I'm no legal expert, so I can have this wrong. But from what I've been reading, it doesn't even matter. Like the judge can still just put it out there, and I think she's going to do that. She's just got to she just can't have somebody's name pop up in it if they have the opportunity to take their name out.
Right, because then it's lawsuit after lawsuit, and it drags on even longer.
Right, and they have 2 weeks to respond to it, and that's it. So if they miss that window, their name is in it.
Friday.
and they're done. So yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. All right, so that's the document dump. We did the Clinton dinner. I'm just shocked about the Clinton dinner thing. I really am, because you're going
weird.
like, you should know better. And he like was trying to get away with something, and it's just
Yeah. I saw that yesterday too, and I was like, it kind of makes sense though.
I don't like it.
How is this only coming up now?
Right.
I mean, I feel like this happened in 2014. It should have been some kind of newsworthy thing. I mean, how many people involved in this dinner?
The thing is that people were so TMZ reported it because Sean Penn was there. Who the hell knew who any of these other people really were back in 2014? It's only now that you've had the time to sort of dig through and go through everything. That's what
Clinton was banking on. Nobody knows who you are.
Right.
So I'm just gonna have a lunch date or whatever, dinner date with you.
But isn't it also weird? Isn't it also weird? Because I don't really subscribe to this. Like, everybody who's famous and popular is a child. But the founder of Gateway, the guy who went on to do Snapchat, like, it's so weird that they all sort of run in this circle. This
underground thing.
It's like really, really strange. Like, this has nothing to do with Epstein and Maxwell, but Facebook, Twitter, Jack Dorsey, who did Twitter, and Zuckerberg, who did Facebook, and countless other people, they would go to South by Southwest and all like hang out, and like that was like their little circle, like a circle of friends. And then who went out to go and start Instagram, and who went out to go and start Tumblr, and all, like, it's unbelievable. Like, they all know each other. It's like strange.
It's a small world. It's like radio people. We all kind of know each other. Radio among but it's the tech. The billionaire people. They run in their own crowd, I guess.
Yes, a lot more losers in the radio world, but maybe less pedophiles. I think. I don't know. I'm
hopefully.
I'm hoping, guessing there. Virginia Giuffre is continuing on her appearances on the Broken podcast, which we fed off of a lot on our last episode. This time around, we get this little nugget from Juan Alessi. Now, this is the housekeeper who appears in the Netflix documentary, and I brought him up a bunch of times because I'm like, what's this guy's got to be involved? And, again, when we were talking about the chef last episode, it's like, how much is he... Virginia's asking him to be a hero now. Can you be a hero now? Are you a part of this? Are you a victim, or are you a co-conspirator? The whole thing is a mess. But this Juan Alessi kind of is in the same thing. Now, he is saying that at one point, Maxwell came to him and said, I hate Jeffrey Epstein, but I can't leave.
Yeah. I could see that too.
And this goes
Definitely.
This goes back to our thing of where we were talking about Nadia, whatever her name was, and this Sarah Kellen who they're looking for, because they're not as known and not as married to Epstein as Maxwell was for the past year. Are they lesser? Does that mean that they were less involved than Maxwell was? Because they're certainly going to be like, I was a victim. I wasn't a co-conspirator. And what's going to stop Maxwell from saying the exact same thing when it comes for her time to put her defense on? That's a
tall order. That's a hard thing to sell, that she was a victim.
It's not, though, because we like, if you're believing so for those of us who like believe the victims, and you're like, and you've been just reading about Maxwell for the longest time, you've built up this thing, and that she was in it with him. But if you're her defense, I'm sure that this is one of the things that they're gonna, if not go with, one of the things they're considering going with, the defense of, she was a victim.
I mean, it's not.
Yep.
It's not out of the realm of possibility. Maybe she was a victim, but all this stuff is saying that she was involved. It's hard to be an innocent victim when you're like the right-hand person.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I don't know. I could be wrong.
This is kind of what happens. I mean, you look at every every time they go and flip a witness, that's kind of what they do. It's always the second person or the other person or whatever who is in there doing just as many bad things that flips on the other person so that they can put a stop to it, and then that person gets immunity, and then the other person goes to jail forever.
Right, but did they do that with Maxwell? They didn't flip her.
No,
They didn't get any,
No, but I'm saying like it's not like we haven't seen this move before.
That's true.
Where somebody who was a co-conspirator turns around and acts like a victim, right, to give up all the information and then be like, woe is me. I was a victim too,
Right. Yeah, but I think it's a little late for that argument because it's not like we're in the middle of it and she all of a sudden was, is claiming victim. This is all kind of over. With this, this ring is kind of over, and now it's like, oh, I was a victim. Don't get me.
Right, and how is she going to prove that?
I don't know.
Right, it's all wrapped up, and everybody's been swept up already for the most part, I guess.
I don't know, but aside from Maxwell, there's how many other countless girls that were victimized and then turned into recruiters to go get other people. So like, this is like,
yeah, they could sell it. They could get away. She could. That's probably their best argument, that she was a victim. Maybe he was threatening her in some way. Who knows? I don't know.
He could have too.
And that's the other thing too. We talked about that with the chef. Like, so when Virginia reaches out to the chef, she goes, "He's gone now. He can't hurt you. Come forward, be a hero now. Yeah. Tell everything that you know," which I was impressed with. I thought that was like the right way to appeal to him. Be like, it's over. But that just goes to show you, like, if an adult male chef is terrified of this guy, you could obviously understand these women being terrified of this guy. And then there's
how could you be terrified of one person? It's got to be that he has connections to other people that can harm you in some way. Maybe not just physically, but in financially, anything. It could be. Definitely. There's got to be more people that it's not just him. Is what I'm saying.
Well, that's another theory, that there's more people involved, and that's why still nobody's coming forward even after he's been gone.
Yeah.
Because they're still scared.
Because they're still terrified.
They're still scared, or they're still running there, or they're still trying to get away with stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. So this Alessi worked for Epstein from 1991 to 2006, first as a maintenance guy in his homes, and then as a housekeeper and a driver in Palm Beach. Alessi reveals that the Duke of York visited Epstein's mansion in Palm Beach, Florida 2 or 3 times while he was there. So that lines up with Virginia's claims. Alessi claims Prince Andrew was memorable because he was so polite and the only one of Epstein's guests to leave him a tip. Alessi and Jeffrey last saw one another in 2002 when Jeffrey left for Thailand to train as a masseuse and never returned to Epstein. Alessi, who is 70 now, left the organization in 2006. So, like, again, what more does this guy
How many years he's there? He's got to know more stuff. To remember one thing that she said.
That's him there. That's Juan Alessi. But for this guy is like the one, again, this guy we know, now we know who the chef is. There were other chefs, there were other housekeepers, there were other drivers, there were other maintenance people. Where are all these people?
Yeah, stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry, my internet sucks.
Oh, Frank. Also, if you buy
I'm saying there's got to be a ton of people that know.
Go ahead, Jenny. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, also, if you buy the T-shirts, they'll also go to the Frank's Internet Fund. Any of the merch.
I'll take that.
Well, get Frank some modern day internet, not the 1996 stuff he's working off of right now.
Dial up. He's still on dial up.
Yeah. Did you log into Netscape before you signed on?
Nobody's on it, so it's fast. Nobody's clogging up the dial up anymore.
By the way, straight
like lightning.
Straight vodka in this, and you guys didn't know. You were none the wiser, right? I'm telling you.
Do we have to have a talk?
This mug hides alcohol better than anybody else for those of you that are working at home and are on all those Zoom meetings. So there you go.
I like it.
Yikes.
I would love to just get this Alessi, sit down with him and talk to him for like, what is he not saying?
Is he going to have a book soon? Is that what he's angling towards? Yeah. Maybe not.
Maybe.
I welcome it. Let him write the book because as long as you name names and say things, he's fine with me.
I wonder if these people are under like some sort of gag order that they can't.
Oh, I'm sure.
Spill their guts to media or whatever until they take the stand or something, or they have statements or something like that. Well, it's got to be, right?
I mean, it's possible. And again, as we see, even just with this document dump, how many times it's been like pushback and pushback. It's what do they say? The winds of justice flow. I don't know. There's some saying for this. Stuff moves slow. Basically, that's it. When you're getting justice, it moves pretty slow.
Yeah, no, I don't think that saying applies to that. But yeah, sure.
The winds of justice are slow winds that move slowly across the land.
That can't be the phrase. Wow. There's no way they said win 3 times within a matter of 5 words. There's no way.
Maybe.
I think Leonardo da Vinci said that, so look it up.
Well, he was on some sort of drug.
Who?
That was.
Yeah. Whenever we talk about crazy Kanye West, we always bring up the David Letterman interview that he did on My Next Guest Needs No Introduction. Just found out that season 3 is coming out on Netflix October 21st. Would you like to hear who the guests are that don't need introduction?
Yes. Please introduce them.
Kim Kardashian.
Oh, God.
So we'll get a follow-up on Kanye, which would be nice. Dave Chappelle.
That's a good one.
Lizzo.
Okay, that's a good one.
Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, that's a really good one.
Pretty good, right?
Awesome. It's a good lineup. I'll take it.
That's a good lineup. I'm excited about that. I'm a big fan of Lizzo.
Mm-hmm.
I like her a lot. She plays the flute like nobody's business.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know much
except
about Lizzo.
Me. You know what I'm saying?
Skin flute.
That's a different kind of flute. We're not talking about that.
I was waiting for you to say, Frank, that's what you said, but okay.
I'm not that lame.
Wait, I'm just shocked that Frank didn't know who Lizzo was.
No, she's not in.
She's not in Metallica. That's why you don't know who she is.
Hey, I know who Lizzo is. I'm just not very familiar with anything other than the couple of songs that I know of hers. That's all.
Great too. I'm pretty great.
Yeah.
Right.
I do my hand toss, check my nails, baby. How you doing?
And I think that was really good. That was really good. That was good. Was she in the movie Hustlers?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I know that.
She was in the movie.
I'm familiar with some of her stuff.
Frank.
I'm not overly. I know she won a ton of Grammys, and yeah, I'm familiar, but I'm not. I don't know much about her personal life or anything.
She did an NPR Tiny Desk concert that was phenomenal. So she's a hip hop artist. So like a lot of her stuff is like computer generated sounds and very produced, and it's wonderful. I'm a big fan of it. But on the Tiny Desk concert, they literally jam a band into an office. Like she's literally behind the desk, and they have to perform. It's a whole series. But if you get if I remember, I'll link it in the description. But I'll probably forget, so just look it up. Lizzo Tiny Desk. So, but in that, she breaks out her flute because she's a classically trained flutist. I don't know. Flautist. And she rips this like flute solo that would rival any like Jimi Hendrix, Lenny Kravitz guitars. Like just tears through this.
Really?
Flute. Yeah.
Metallica. Yeah, definitely.
I have to give this a listen.
Yeah, she was amazing on that Tiny Desk concert. Like really, really good. Big fan of hers. Cardi B too, who is now being sued.
Oh my God! Did you guys see that yesterday?
So Cardi B is being sued. Janine texts me. She goes, "Oh, are you watching this Cardi B thing? I have no idea what's happening." So I turned it on. It was on Pix 11 here in New York. Turn it on, and the lawyers and the people who are suing Cardi B are on TV. By the way, I was super proud. I'm going to see if I could bring up my line because I had a couple of lines that I put out there that people were really reacting to, which made me happy.
Please. So basically, she's being sued, her sister being sued, and her sister's girlfriend is being sued. They were on a beach in Long Island, Smith Point Beach. And her
Which
sister
I
posted
want you
this-
to keep going,
Go
Gene,
ahead.
but I have to interrupt you here. You expect to see Cardi B in Southampton. You expect to see her in East Hampton. Like, these
Montauk.
are posh areas. Montauk. Yeah. You do not, like, Smith Point is like the most, like, middle class. Like, we would go. Average, everyday people go there just to go to the beach. And here's
true.
this.
Isn't it a private beach?
Say that again?
No. I don't
It's a
think it's.
private beach, no?
I think there's
I
like
don't think it's a private beach. No.
Yeah, because there's
Oh, okay.
camping there and there's all kinds of stuff there. It's just an average, ordinary beach. I don't know why the hell she was there. Please continue, Gene.
So back in August, Cardi B posted the videos that her sister sent to her. And they were fighting with men on the beach, and one woman was there as well. And basically, like, from her point of view, it was like racial, calling them names. And then it came out like saying like they were being talked down to, and they didn't do anything to prompt this attack. But nope. Yesterday they were saying, the lawyers for the guys saying that they didn't post the whole video. So it was like this whole thing. But the lawyer is great for these guys. I don't know his name. Do you know Anthony?
I don't know what his name is, but I'm gonna this is the Pix 11 video, so you could get a look at him. Here he is, right here. That's the lawyer right there. Look at that hat and that tie and that vest.
I have to say the best line that came out of him was that in the videos that she posted, Cardi B's sister called that woman in the video a Karen. And the lawyer said that is a racist comment towards white women. Which to me, I never thought that.
No, it's just a person
oh
that
my God,
makes
it was
a problem.
hysterical. Just the way he said it was hysterical.
Yeah, I think people who don't like the term Karen are trying to get that across, that it's racist
Yes.
now. Karen can be any race. It's just this person
Yeah.
who is there ready to complain at the drop of a pin if something is not going exactly the way that they want.
Right, exactly.
There could be guy Karens, girl Karen. It doesn't.
And she did call the guy Ken, which he told everyone
Ken
was
is the male Karen.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I heard that it started the part that I heard the lawyer say was because they were wearing MAGA hats. And that's what
Yes.
and they just ran over and started screaming and cursing at them. According to these people. I wasn't there. I don't know, nor do I care. So but that's what started it.
What's funny is, so Cardi B is being sued because she posted the videos. And in New York, you cannot post a video with someone in it without their permission.
Right.
At least that's what the guy said yesterday. I don't know.
Well, they're claiming that they make a living. You can't commercially use a video with that. If I'm shooting a documentary, I can use and you just happen to walk by, I can use it. I don't need your permission. But if I'm commercially using this video to sell jeans or whatever, then I have to get your okay. And his argument is that they make a living on social media. They posted this video, they edited it a certain way, according to this lawyer, and
Not
so
a bad argument.
That's a commercial. They were saying they were using it for commercial purposes, and he didn't get the permission.
Yes. So they're suing her or the three women for $20 million.
That seems like a lot, but
They know they have the money. That's why.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. So as we sit here right now,
case?
this is a famous lawyer. He's a famous lawyer
Yes,
on
he
Long
is.
Island. He takes a bunch of cases, so he might be like the sweetest heart of a guy. I really don't know much about him, but I know I've seen him before.
Me too.
There's 137,000 views on this, 2,000 comments, 1,000 shares. Here are my comments here. I like my first one, which is link to buy the hat and shirt, please. So that got a moderate response. But the one that was a home run for me was, that guy looks like an old school Batman villain. Thank you very much.
He does.
tell me that the old school Riddler and Penguin, right? Like he wouldn't have fit right in with that crew.
One.
I can barely see. You got to move it over a little.
In the 60s Batman.
The other way.
This way?
There he is. Okay.
In the 60s Batman, right?
He should be holding a Tommy gun.
He should be fighting Adam West Batman right now, this guy.
Yeah.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
He's a Dick Tracy villain, too.
He could have been a Dick Tracy villain, too.
They should remake that movie. Not to get off topic here. Dick Tracy was a great movie. But I'm surprised nobody's remade it yet.
Well, they did that one with Madonna and what's his name? That's
the only one. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised they haven't remade it yet.
Do we need to do we need to remake that one? Pacino was the best.
Do we need to remake anything? I mean, but like this has all these cool. It's like a comic book movie.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm surprised they haven't done it again.
People don't know this, but Frank does the best. And again, I'm sorry for the people that are listening. Frank does the best impression of. Frank does the best impression of Pacino in the Dick Tracy movie when he discovers that they're bugging the club because there's a drip in the ceiling.
Let me hear it.
It's a visual.
For putting me on the spot.
It's a visual. You got to do it.
We're being bugged. I think we're being bugged. I don't know how that came off on camera. If it was in the camera in the right frame.
Now I have to go watch Dick Tracy.
Yeah, nobody is going to get that other than.
Have you never seen Dick Tracy?
Man, no, but who remembers that exact scene? It's such a weird.
That's true.
But that is so friggin' accurate.
I don't remember that movie.
Like a mouse just trying to.
Yeah,
it's the weirdest thing. I think one of Pacino's best roles. I'm sorry.
Really?
Because he was at the height of the screaming Pacino. That was the height of screaming Pacino.
Al Pascrimo? No. No, he was right in that transition from young Pacino to old
female
Pacino.
to male. Oh,
it's
no.
right in the middle. Yeah, not that transition.
No.
But I don't know. It was a great role.
All right.
Next season of My Next Guest Needs No Introduction, October 21st. So there you go, on Netflix.
Sweet.
All right.
By the way, my man Bert Kreischer is dropping a new Netflix show as well. I don't know when it's coming out.
You keep pushing him, and every time, like whenever I see any clips of it.
Comedian?
Yeah, Bert Kreischer. You don't know who Bert Kreischer is?
No.
He takes his shirt off. He did the Machine Story.
Comedian.
No. I have to watch it.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see the screen, but that's Bert Kreischer, everybody. He just dropped a trailer for his new Netflix show.
Like I told you, I'm not a fan of watching stand-up comedy on TV.
You're not?
Like, I barely laugh at it.
You need to be there?
Well, I need to be there.
All right, well.
You'd rather see it live?
Yes.
See, that's weird to me because at least on on TV specials or anything like that, it's not a guaranteed laugh, but at least they're putting in their best stuff. If you see them live, there might be some jokes that aren't going to land.
Like, okay, which I'm sure you guys like him. Sebastian.
Maniscalco?
Yeah.
No.
You don't think he's funny?
I've watched his stuff and just been like, oh my God, when is the next joke coming? Because I can't take this.
Really?
I don't think he's funny. Maybe in person. But like, no.
Hey.
Oh my goodness.
I like Vic DiBitetto. I think he's funny.
You do.
Okay, that's where I gotta stop you right there.
Why? I think he's hilarious.
You know who I hate?
He's okay.
Hickory Dickory Dock.
Andrew Dice Clay?
Oh my God.
I'm starting to think you just have a problem with Italian guys, Janine. That's what I'm starting to think.
Is that what it is?
It feels a little racially driven here.
No, because I think Chris DiStefano is hysterical.
Chris DiStefano is hysterical.
I'm going to see him
When are you going to see him?
October 16th, I believe, because our show was canceled thanks to No Fun Cuomo.
Right.
So it got rescheduled.
Yeah.
Now he's funny.
Now wait a second. Is this still at Governor's?
Yes.
So why are they allowed to do it now as opposed to?
I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense. All right, I'm gonna see.
Maybe he got his period that weekend.
I'm gonna see if we can get him on. Stefano.
Oh my God.
Do
you watch his podcast? It's like 10,000 times better than this one.
Hey.
I don't really watch his podcast, but his 9/11 story was
it's hysterical.
The best ever. And he's a Malloy guy. We went to the same high school. We're 2 years apart.
Right. Well, I don't know. I think he's funny. And just a quick funny story about him and the other guy he does the podcast with.
Yeah.
Podcast. You hear that?
Podcast with?
So I used to work with someone who was close friends with him. And I met him once.
Mm-hmm.
Years pass, and he does a Mauricia person. My friend shows me him, and she's like, "You got to watch this guy." So I'm like, "Wait a minute, I met that guy." And she's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "I met him years ago, once or twice." And now he's good friends with Chris Stefano and does the podcast with him.
Oh, he's the other guy?
Yes. He's funny, though, too.
Yeah, he is funny. I've seen him and stuff, too. I forget his name, but...
Giannis Pappas.
That's it, yeah.
Good.
You're gonna make fun of me, and you're gonna you haven't gotten out of the '90s, but there's a couple of Jim Brewer specials that are hilarious.
I like Jim Brewer.
Okay.
Right. He's hysterical. I thought
Jim
a
Brewer
lot
is
of this
very
stuff
funny.
has to deal with him living on Long Island.
Yes.
And he talks about rock, metal and stuff like that, and it's right.
Do you
up
like
my
Jim
alley.
Norton?
It's clean.
Wait.
Jim Norton's okay.
Hold on. Jim Brewer also opened up for Metallica for a year and a half. I just want to point that out to everybody.
Yes, he did.
Okay. Just want to point that out to everybody.
What is your point? As I dip into the matrix.
Okay, well, let me tell you something. Jim Norton,
Whoa.
don't think he's funny.
You don't think I've had Jim
But my
Norton on the
husband
show.
loves him.
He's very nice and very funny. I've had him
Hey,
on.
let me pick
Okay.
up that name.
Here's
Hang
what
on
I
a
hate
second.
about him.
Here you go.
I hate the characters he does. They're not funny.
You know what? I don't get to listen to Jim a lot, but I see his stand up and he can be very funny. Not all the time, but I think he's very, very
He's
funny.
hit and miss. He's hit and miss for me.
There are some things that I'm like, but a lot of things are very funny. You don't like the characters that what's the thing he does? He does a podcast with what's his name? I forget what he calls this guy.
The other guy.
I don't know what it is now.
Yeah. Gaetano listens to that.
Oh, he likes
Then
it.
I'm like, He likes those group of guys. Not me.
For me, for my money right now, there's nobody funnier than Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura. I feel like those two are the two.
I tried watching the Tom Segura thing. 10 minutes, not even a smile from me.
Like his stand-up special?
Yes.
Oh my God, it's so good. Well, listen, Janine, you'll be happy to know that this particular Bert Kreischer show that I brought up 45 minutes ago and tried to talk about until you guys wanted to talk about every other comedian.
God forbid we should talk about our stuff.
Is called The Cabin. So it's not a stand-up special. It's him and a bunch of comics and people just literally spending time in a cabin. And I will say the guest list is kind of crazy. He's got, let me see here, Anthony Anderson, Kaylee Cuoco, Fortune Feimster, Nikki Glazer, Gabriel Iglesias. Who's the Caitlyn Jenner, Bobby Lee, Joe McHale, Donnell Rawlings. It's got Caitlyn Jenner on it. And Caitlyn Jenner is actually hilarious in the trailer for this.
Really?
Kelly Cuoco, is she very funny in it?
No, she's like the actress in that show that I can't stay. I can't watch that show.
I can't stand that show either.
Let me explain something to you.
Theory.
I have not seen more than 45 consecutive seconds of The Big Bang Theory.
Me too.
I cannot watch that show.
Me either. And Gaetano loves it.
If the both of you were into Star Wars,
I do like Star Wars.
Then you might. No, you don't.
Yes, I'm not into it like you are. I wouldn't have sex with Star Wars like you would.
I would, and it would be glorious. But
are you saying that Star Wars?
If you were into it that much, then that's what they talk. It's a lot of nerds.
Don't highbrow me. Don't act like it's too smart for me. It's.
Right.
I didn't say it was too smart. I said it talks about Star Wars and
nerdy
stuff that you don't like.
I like nerdy things.
I hate it.
But that show is just too much.
And I think
it's not good.
I'm not defending the show. I think it's, again, there are some good episodes or some good lines, but it's not an amazing show.
No, it's not.
I think she's gorgeous too. That Kaylee quote. I would put her probably in my top 10. Like she's
really.
Yeah, I think she's beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. Super hot. She was
top
good
10.
in.
Wow.
She was good in that one with Josh Gad and the wedding one with what's his name.
I don't know from anything else.
Doesn't matter.
Besides Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, but anyway, I just can't. There's something about the tone of that show and the one nerdy guy. I can't. The only bit of
one nerdy guy.
Sheldon. Sheldon. I cannot stand. I've only ever seen a couple seconds. If like I'm watching something else on TBS, and then they immediately start that.
You can't get the control fast enough, right? I know. Same here.
That show and Chrisley Knows Best on USA Network.
Oh, I don't know that one.
I would punch that guy right in the face. I can't stand him either.
Chrisley Knows Best?
Yeah, that smug SO. I just cannot stand that guy's face. And again, I don't watch the USA channel only when replays of Modern Family are on. And that's the only time I ever see this. See, nobody knows who Chrisley is. He's only on after the Modern Family show. I don't think he's that famous, other than that.
I never heard of it.
He's got one of these family, reality shows. I can't stand his face either.
No, never heard of him.
All right, we got to leave it there. Fun stuff to talk about at the end. It was nice to do that again. And we, of course, will cover anything else that happens in that Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein world. Anything else comes about there. Don't forget to visit the AnthonyOnAir.com store. We got links up on the website, AnthonyOnAir.com. So go on over there, pick yourself up something nice. Thumbs up the video on Facebook or YouTube. And don't forget to hit the bell notification on YouTube and follow on Facebook to make sure that you guys are aware when we drop a new episode. See you on the next one. AnthonyOnAir.com has all our links. Thanks to Frankie C. and Jay Sabs.